Hello, Jay.
Mr. Andy,
How are
how are
you, man?
you? I'm good.
I am good.
Hey
What's
Jay,
going on, man?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
I was just telling him about how you described that Zambia hunt. Y'all just kind of brought a couple of lawn chairs out there and got back in the bush and just kind of like watching the caribou migration of elephants go by all week long.
This is strange for me. I've never done one of these, so I'm watching. My actions are delayed, and so it's
Yeah, you
just a
can
little
you can
foreign
look
to
to the
me.
left and right and then watch yourself to
Yeah,
do different stuff.
yeah, that's weird.
Now this is just gonna be three
Yeah, that
guys sitting around the campfire jawing.
Okay,
exactly.
I should have got a
Reliving the
little
moments.
artificial one and put right here in front of the camera.
We can add it in.
Imagine that would, I'm sure
We got
we can
CGI.
put one in there. I'm sure Christy can do that.
Done.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice.
Jay, Andy was talking. He's amassed a nice collection of animals and stuff. And so one of my favorite stories from Tim, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was an old Zim hunter, and years ago. I mean, 20 something years ago. He came over and Tim was, he was I think he was with Big Five, and Tim was booking some hunts for him. But they got invited by some guy here in Highland Park to go to his home. They were having a big cocktail party and a trophy tour, but this old guy started hitting a bottle in the afternoon. Tim said he was fucking drunk by the time they got there. He walked in, looked around, and said, "God damn, that's the biggest collection of small shit I've ever seen in my life." Tim said, "Oh, we got to get this fucker out of here." Okay, we got guys. Y'all ready to go?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Well, welcome to today's episode of Safari Classics TV. If you are a serious African hunter or ever dreamed about becoming a serious African hunter, there's one species that has went through your mind. You may never do it, but we all thought about it. And then there's a few of us decided, yeah, that's not only a bucket list, that's something I'm doing. And they go and do it. And that's hunting the largest land mammal on earth, of course, the African elephant. And today I've got two guys that we're going to talk about the great hunt that is the hunt for a big elephant bull and ivory and all the adventure that goes along with that. So I'd like to bring them both on together. Jay Cohea is coming to us from South Texas, and Andy Macdonald, his partner in crime and a Safari Classics field producer and cameraman's with him. Boys, welcome to today's show.
Good evening, Dave. Good to be back, man.
Good to
Thanks,
have you
Dave.
back.
Looking forward to it.
Well, Jay, I know it's a busy time of year for you, and I appreciate you making the time for us today. And we're getting to talk about one of our combined favorite subjects, and that's Africa. And on top of that, hunting bull elephant.
Right.
And like I said, when you think of adventure hunting, it really doesn't get any more adventurous than or iconic or classic, however you want to describe it, is hunting bull elephant, and that's going to be our focus today. So, how many times, Jay? I know this was not your first elephant hunt, and how many times have you hunted Africa? I mean, it's a bunch.
Dave, I believe 24 times.
How many countries do you know?
I've hunted 8 different countries,
8 different
and
countries.
yes,
And Mr. McDonald has been a sidekick with you on, I don't know how many times you guys have filmed together, but you've become a pretty lethal team.
yes, we
No,
have.
we have a lot of fun together. We
Yeah.
we always keep the sense of humor rolling, which is, I think, what we both enjoy about the whole deal as well. Very like-minded, Jay and I.
Before we get into Tanzania, Jay, let's talk a little bit about your elephant hunting, your background in it. This is, like we said, not your first hunt for elephant.
No, it's not, Dave. And I'm a pretty picky guy when it comes to hunting big heads or big tusk or what have you. I'm not over there just to shoot something. I'm really looking for something that fits in my mind what I've always dreamed about. So sometimes it's not the area or the pH, it's me. But I've had elephant on license in Tanzania before, also in Zimbabwe before, also in Zambia, and yeah, you know what happened in Zambia.
That was a pretty rugged hunt. Tell me a little bit about that.
We hunted probably 10 days, and like I said, I'm picky, and we saw some 30, 35 type pound ellies. We hunted hard all day. We spiked out. The last day of the hunt, the last evening of the hunt, we finally I spotted him, and it was probably we figured a 55-pound type bull, nice bull, especially for the last day.
Mm.
So we made a stalk on him, and I shot him with my double. It was about 45 yards, and he was in a pretty thick mott of brush. So really, his head was all that we could see, and I did not drop him. He spun, and neither one of us got any kind of a good second shot into him. We got on his trail, and we pretty much jogged on it for 2 hours, tracking him until dark, and he went on. So he obviously didn't die, and that's the best of that situation is he lived on.
Jay, what of the dangerous game of Africa have you successfully hunted?
So I've successfully hunted lion, leopard, elephant, crocodile, hippo, rhino is on the bucket list.
And
so
a myriad of buffalo, Jay.
Yeah,
You shot a lot of buffalo.
A myriad of buffalo. Yeah, I have done that.
Let's talk about your elephant battery.
Okay, so pretty much my go-to is a 460 Weatherby. Solids on elephant, softs on buffalo, or whatever else I'm hunting. And then I've got a 500 465 that I shoot, and I shoot it pretty well. And I've been shooting it for, I guess, 2 or 3 years. So that's the two firearms I carry on a buffalo or an elephant hunt.
And I know, like myself, you shoot Hornady solids, and
I do.
We were talking about the good thing about the elephant that you didn't get, and I know that's soul crushing. And I remember when we talked, I mean I just remember you were really down, but that's hunting. If you haven't had something like that happen, that tells me you haven't hunted very much at all, whether it's a big whitetail or a derby eland or an elephant bull. But the nice thing about taking a shot like that on an elephant, that elephant spun. He's probably still out doing his daily deal. He's just got 500 grains of Hornady, stuck in that big honeycomb skull if it didn't whistle out the back. So, the good news about that, you gave him a headache, but you didn't do any substantial damage to that bull.
No, and I can't confirm this, but the PHs that hunt that area shot what they say is the same bull the following year.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, I think, 57 and 59 pounds, real close to 60 pounds. And they showed me pictures of him. It looks like the same bull, but I can't confirm that. That's what they said. It was the same bull. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
They they collected 2 trophy fees on one bull, and he lived through my food bar, and somebody else got to collect him. He lived on.
Andy, before Jay got on, we were laughing about something you said, because I know what kind of regard Andy has for you, Jay. And he just said, I just look forward to my hunts with Jay. There's always something really funny that happens. And you were telling me about we called the clip "The Disappearing Tribesman." What was that about?
So that was in Uganda. And we had been called in by the villagers to take care of a problem buffalo that had potentially killed a couple of people in the following years. Jay had shot it in the head and hadn't quite brained it, and the whole village kind of flooded in at the first shot. Those guys came up. I started doing a little interview with them, and yeah, the buffalo. Jay knew the buffalo wasn't dead, and you can see how quick he was on the trigger there. But the way these guys disappear,
They're just telling the story here.
Missed two children.
oh man,
They were-
I mean, at the drop of a hat.
Watch Jay right here. Boom. I shot it. I had a buddy of mine that was thinking about buying a 460 that was for sale one time, and he knew I'd shot a bunch of big calibers and stuff, and he said, man, I want you to go with me. And this guy's smaller than I am considerably, and I've not shot a 470. I mean, I've shot 700 nitros and that's one of the few big ones I hadn't. And he said, well, why don't you take a couple of shots with it? You know, he's like, Tom Sawyer getting somebody else to paint the damn fence. You know, so, man, I shot that thing twice standing up, and I looked at it, and he was looking at me. He was kind of, he said, what do you think? I said, I think if a freaking elephant bull was charging me and I had this thing, I'd just throw the damn rifle on the ground and see what the elephant could do. I'd probably come out of it less bruised. And I said, this thing will knock your damn hat off. And I was watching Jay just shoot it right there, and his hat flew off his head.
Every time. Every time. I promise you, every clip that you see of Jay putting in with a finishing shot with that 460 Weatherby, the hat always comes off. I think Colton got hit with it a few times when we were on the hunt now in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, well, that was
The hat flies off.
I can't remember.
So I don't shoot them. I bought another 460 and no brake, so that cap stays on pretty good now. But that muzzle brake on a 460, you get some pressure coming back at you pretty hard.
Well, it takes a pretty big guy. And Jay, what are you, 6'5"?
No, I wish I was. I used to be about 6'2.5". Now probably about 6'1.5". You know, you shrink with age.
Yeah, I thought you were taller than that.
About
Well,
16.
anyhow,
I'll call it 16.
But you're built like a damn linebacker, and that's what it takes to shoot that awful thing. But you shoot it. Well, I know a couple of guys that's their gun. I mean, when things go bad, that's all. That's their comfort blanket. Today we're going to Tanzania, and certainly along with Kenya, people consider this country the birthplace of safari and so many iconic game fields over there. Now, Jay, why did you'd hunted 3 of the other elephant-centric countries? Why did you choose Tanzania on this? What I know you're hoping was going to be the time you finally got your bull.
Well, Andy and I were on a crocodile hunt with Kilombero and the year before, and I talked to Quentin Whitehead and Gerard Miller, and they both advised me to go to Kinyangezi, which is central Tanzania, right on the border of the Ruaha National Park. Lots of elephants. So I said, okay, let's book it. So we booked it there while we were hunting croc and buffalo. And the next June is when it happened.
Well, Andy, you've videoed all over Tanzania. Had you hunted in this area before?
No, Dave. I'd never been to Kinyangezi before. That was my first time there.
Kind of describe the country.
A lot of hills, very hilly. Mopani, I mean, it's not like Maasai Land, and it's not like Western Tanzania. It's got its own look and feel to it. What do you think, Andy? What would you add to that?
There's sections of Miombo woodland. There's also a lot of good hilly areas. You get some good open areas as well. There's one little main river stream that runs through there that I think they were saying throughout the year stays green. So there's always decent grazing there for buffalo. Beautiful flat top acacias. We have a lot of beautiful baobab trees that are there. And another interesting thing about that place is it's one of the furthest areas that you actually find lesser kudu. I was shocked when I actually saw them there. It was unbelievable. I didn't think we were going to have any form of opportunity in that location to get a shot at lesser kudu. Very beautiful place, very beautiful landscape.
Okay, now who was your professional hunter on this hunt?
It was Jason Van Ard. Jason's a great guy, great PH, real stays in the middle, doesn't get real excited about anything, but always ready to hunt real hard.
Oh, yeah.
Great company around the
And
fire.
all and always anxious to light up his pipe, man. A really good
Oh
guy.
yeah, he loves that pipe. I pulled on it
He
a few
loves his
times
pipe.
myself.
Nothing wrong with
Yes,
a
sir.
pipe around the campfire at all.
You know,
Well,
that's a good
Yes, sir.
man.
now this was, certainly your elephant was the main focus of the safari, but what other game was in there, and what other game did you hope to hunt while you were there?
So besides cats, everything else was on license. I think I had 4 buffalo on license, kudu, all the plains game, the lesser kudu, which we saw 8 bulls, which was huge for that far south. Um, and I was saving that sable, and I was hoping Colton was going to join us, so I was hoping he could handle all that.
Well, just so everybody, we're talking about Colton. He's going to join you about halfway through your safari, and didn't work kind of have him restrained as far as the length of time he could be overseas.
Yes, Dave. I think he had 12 days, so
Okay.
he had to
Okay.
get in and make it happen pretty quick with travel.
Kind of what was the hunt? What was the hunting method on this hunt?
So a lot of it was more of a spot and stalk. We did track a little. Most of the elephant were in semi-open areas, so later in the day, look at the big trees, look under the big trees, look for shade. That's mainly what we did. If we found a big track, we would get on it. But otherwise, you could see a lot of bulls, kind of like bots, just driving.
Andy, what was a big track in this area? What was the PH looking for?
So, I think in this particular area, anything over that 20 to 21 inch track you're looking for. And I remember, Jay, the size of the track of the bull that we got, I think was 22, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, very decent sized bulls. The body was a lot bigger than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I thought we were going to be looking at like valley bulls, but I think they would be a little bit bigger than a valley bull.
Okay. So Jay, if I remember correctly, you told me your PH. When you arrived, you said, there's a couple of bulls in here that I've seen that I'd sure like to get my eyes on while you're here.
That was a bull they reckon would go around 60 pounds, long ivory, 40, probably 48 sticking out. And we found that bull, I don't remember how many days in, second or third
It was
day
early on
in.
the first day. I think it was early
Was
on
it
the
first
first day
day?
we saw him, Jay. Yeah, we were
Okay.
doing
It
that
was
recon
right
when we were
before
out and
dark.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
right
And
at
we looked
dark.
at
Yeah.
him from a distance and thought, well, we'll give that bull a closer look. So we did find him. How far was it? The next day, Andy, or when did we find that bull again?
So I think the next time we found him again was the day that we actually took him, and that took a few days. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact day that it was, but it was about a week in when we finally did find that bull again. And when we did see him from a distance, I think we could all safely say that it was, yeah, one of the better bulls we had seen. And you could
Yeah.
see why the guys
Yeah.
liked him. Beautiful
Well,
ivory, eh? Nice, straight, long ivory.
well,
Beautiful.
the dilemma we haven't discussed yet. When you're talking about the ivory, that's what it was ivory, not ivories. He was a single
Yes.
tusker.
He's a single tusker.
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts on that, Jay? I mean, I've got definite thoughts on it. I know Andy does, but when somebody tells you, because look, I mean, most people are going on their elephant hunt. They're probably thinking about two twin pillars of ivory. What did you think when he mentioned a single tusk?
Well, when he first mentioned it, I was like, well, I'll have to just take a look at it. It didn't sound real appealing to me, but when I saw the bull, old bull, beautiful ivory on one side, I said, that's fine. I'll try and I'll see what I can do with him. I'm good with a single tusk.
Yeah.
Andy, what's your thoughts on a single tusker if he's the right bull?
Funnily enough, Dave, the biggest bull I've ever actually filmed was with a young lady, young huntress. Her father had bought her and and himself a tag, and we were in Botswana. Her dad shot a 60 pounder, if I'm not mistaken, and we found a 92-pound single tusk that she ended up taking. And look, when it's that heavy, when you're getting into the 90s, close to 100, I think you should definitely consider pulling the trigger. I know I would. I would definitely. If you've got one tusk that's going to be going that weight, the other one may not make it. But the bull that we saw, it excited me as well, to be honest with you, when we first saw him. I mean, beautiful, beautiful ivory, eh?
Well, and he was
Definitely.
resting. It was hot. He was under the shade tree, so we knew if we didn't, we got the wind right, we could probably make a good stalk on him.
That's a nice ball. Just give us a shot.
Watch it.
We got in as close as we could. We ran out of cover, and we were probably at 40 yards, more or less. I didn't range it. So
Somewhere on there.
yeah. So I elected to shoot my 460 because he was in the shade, and that aim point just doesn't give me the picture that 1.5 by 6 does. So I shoot him with my 460. He drops, but he drops slowly. He didn't just drop like they do when they're brain good. So got ready. He came up, grabbed my double, shot him probably 2 inches from my first shot in the side brain. Jason also shot him right behind the shoulder. So we put 2 shots in him real quick as he started to move out, and that was it.
How much was that Zambia bull on your mind when you were getting on the sticks on this bull?
That's why I elected to shoot him with that 460. It was heavy on my mind, and I'm steady. I don't get nervous when I'm shooting big game, but still, I just wanted to make damn sure. Angles can change. Angles are funny, especially in the shade. So,
Especially on an elephant bull's head as well. That angle is everything, eh?
And
Yeah,
people have no idea how fast an elephant bull can pivot like a polo pony. I mean, they can, 1 second they're looking that way, the next thing you see their tail going the other direction. But you've knocked your bull down, and now you walk up there, and what's going through your mind, Jay? That's a pretty special moment, especially when you put in the time you have.
It's a very special moment. And with elephant, it's just a little different to me than other game. It's you're not sad, but you're not jumping up and down. I'm not anyway. Some people do. I just wanted to feel it, touch the tusk, look at it, just take it all in and kind of quietly.
It's an appreciation, I think, Jay. It
Yeah.
is, to hunt something like an elephant. Yeah, it's not many words can describe. I've never killed one, but I can't imagine, the emotions that come flooding in through you when that has been a bucket list animal for so long. It's very special.
You properly earned your bull, and congratulations. So got
Thank
him.
you.
Now I know one of the other prizes, we talked a little bit about it, was a lesser kudu.
65 yards in here.
And this bull was really old, and it was right before dark. And he was in some thick stuff, but he was weaving in and out of it. So Jason and I and Andy, we just kept moving with him, and finally he gave us a shot. It was a hard quartered away shot, but I took it. It was a good shot. And he ran about 10 yards, 15 yards, and he was dead. And it was very exciting. I mean, lesser kudu is just one of those things you're not going to find anywhere but Tanzania.
Special, eh?
That you huntable. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so special. And he was, oh yeah.
Diminutive in size, but there's not a damn thing lesser about a lesser kudu.
No, there's really
no.
not. Dave.
We're about to be joined by your son, Colton. Now, before we show, I want to describe Colton. I mean, Colton is a great young, how old is Colton?
Colton is 27.
27. And unlike Jay, Colton's kind of a small, frail young man. You know, we're going to disprove that myth. So, Andy, you and Colton have actually hunted together quite a bit. How many times have you guys been on safari?
So this hunt that we did now in Tanzania, the one we're talking about, that was the first time we ever met each other. And we have since done another hunt in the Zambezi Valley in Zimbabwe with Colton McCallum Safaris.
You know, when people say, what's Colton like? And I say, if you know Jay, you kind of know Colton.
100%. I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Dave. You know, the apple has not fallen far from that tree. And if there was one word that I would use to describe Colton, it would be a gentleman. He is a top class gentleman. Great guy.
No, he's a fine young man, and he joined you not far after you shot your bull. So
It was his second trip to Africa, so Cape Buffalo was number one on his list. They also had big kudu there. That was another one that we were after.
Well, Andy, is there a bunch of buffalo in there, or was it a little bit skinny?
You know what, Jay, apparently the numbers of buffalo there are really good. We just weren't seeing the volume that I had heard about there. We'd been seeing some smaller groups in that one riverine, or actually isn't a riverine, it's a natural spring flow that comes down from the mountains. We were seeing the majority of our buffalo movement in those areas.
But you got on, tracks, several times and, actually, made contact. But boy, you alluded to it, just like elephant wins everything on buffalo. And it looked like y'all were fighting a bunch of swirling wind.
We were.
Good thing that Colton's a hunter and, he understands. It's just
Yeah,
not a lot
100%.
different from a big whitetail ghosting in and out of the brush, and the trigger's halfway bent and he turns and he's gone, and that's happened to all of us. So I mean, look, he hunted hard. He hunted hard, laid down a lot of leather, looking for one. It didn't work out on the buffalo, but Jay, there's another black beauty that lives in this area.
Just to the right of that tree. Dude, we got him. That was awesome. I didn't have a very clear shot, but I could see that shoulder and just squeezed off real easy. Oh, what a beautiful thing.
An old sable bull, beautiful, black. Probably the blackest sable I've ever seen. As far as face markings, everything was black on him. So, and he made a great shot.
Yeah, that's not exactly a wide open shot, is it? He threaded the needle on that.
He did.
With a
He
460
did.
Weatherby.
Yeah.
He didn't run far. Yeah, he put the hammer
that-
down on that thing.
That man can
Well.
shoot.
He looked really excited on that. I mean, excited
He
good.
was,
He was.
he was chuffed.
He was.
Very, very happy.
He was so happy. And the old man was happy too.
Everyone, all around.
Thank you.
And good shooting. There was not the easy shot. It was quick going and you didn't waste time. It was very fast.
exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful sable. Well done.
460 Weatherby spoke true.
Well, there's another species over there that, most people kind of take for granted. When you talk about impala, most people are thinking about the, southern impala, and they're gorgeous animals. But the East African variety in this area and in a lot of East Africa, the horns are so much bigger. And I know Colton was hoping to find a big ram before his time was up.
Yes, sir. And he shot a pretty nice ram for that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. That wasn't an East African. That was a Southern.
Yeah, that was a southern, but it was shaped more like a East African.
You would
He was
you
long.
would think it's an East African impala, but that's what makes this
Yeah.
particular impala so impressive.
Oh,
That area is the East African don't occur there. They're still classified as the Southern impala. So, what did it go? I
Then
think it
that's
was
a
26
giant.
inches. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah,
an
26 inch
absolute
change, yeah.
monster, 26-inch Southern impala. It's a
Yeah.
beast, man.
It really was beautiful
It's a
impala.
beast.
look, that was a special safari, guys. And again, it always, what makes a safari special? Is it the area? Yeah. Is it the game you're after? And damn sure can be that. But the people that you're with always plays. You could have the first two components and have the wrong people, and the memory would not be near as sweet. And when you combine really good friends that love to hunt together, love to hunt Africa, I hated that Colton did not go home with his buffalo because I wanted to see if he could load one by himself. I had a bet with him. I said he'd come in pretty handy to pick him up on his shoulders and throw it in the back of the damn Land Cruiser. But I'm not going to give away too much, but I know we're going to tell a buffalo story with Colton in an upcoming episode of one of these, and I'm really looking forward to that. But fellas, great to catch up with both of you as always, and together you guys make a lethal team. And guys, we're appreciative. We're very thankful that you guys are, Team Safari Classic. It means a lot to us, and Jay, I'll be seeing you here at the shows, and I hope you've tied up a couple of big gobblers for me this spring.
I got one or two for you.
Don't put out the leg hole traps before, too far before I get there.
I'll keep them alive for you.
You're the
Good.
man. Guys, enjoyed it a ton. Thanks so much for being here today. And,
You're
for
welcome.
Only a pleasure.
For everybody else that likes, the adventure that only Africa could possibly deliver, we are really appreciative of you signing on each week. I mean, more and more people are finding, our channel. And as always, we ask you to like and subscribe. And again, I want to tell you, we've got a big project coming. We're coming out with the Safari Classics app, which will allow you not to only watch this digital series, you'll be able to watch 20 years of programming, from specials to Dark and Dangerous to the tracks across Africa. Some of the videos that we've done, it'll all be housed on the Safari Classics TV app. So guys, thanks for being here. And if you tuned in at home and spent the time with us today, appreciate you more than you know. We'll see you next time on Safari Classics TV.